This is the Duchess, Abby Mesterly from the Hickory Street Hellraisers, and you're listening to Doggie Time on DentonRadio.com.
It's doggy time.
What's that? Oh, okay. Oh, here, let me open. What is this thing? Is this the right way up? Okay. Well, I'm done. Whoa. Sorry about that. Oh, that's gonna leave a mark. Yeah, you're gonna have to get some ointment for that. Okay, you ready to go? Oh, okay. Here we go now. Paws up, cats and kittens. You are listening to Doggy Time on DentonRadio.com. I am your host, Bone Doggie, and for the next undetermined amount of time, you are going to be subjected to as much news, gossip, innuendo, information, murder, mayhem, and of course music from the greater Denton area, as much as we could muster up while we were still sober. Speaking of sober, we'd like to give a little shout out, first of all, to all my cats and kittens out there. Happy New Year! Yes, welcome to 2012. I know that 2011 was a little bit bumpy, but we managed to get through it one more time. And so here's hoping to all of you out there in DentonRadio.com land that 2012 is a bright and joyous new year. Also, speaking of New Year and speaking of New Year's Eve, we would like to give a personal shout out to Banter Denton for hosting the 7th annual Bone Doggie's New Year's Eve Bash. We had a great time out there, had a lot of folks come out and drank a lot of Shiner and wine and champagne and made some revelry that you would not believe, especially with my good buddies, my boys. 1140 played up with us that night, and also the lovely and talented Mary Walker and her boys. It was quite the evening of entertainment, frivolity, a jocularity, and just basic old rebel rousing. We had a good time. So I want to thank all the people that come out and all the people that played, made it a memorable evening, and kicked off the new year in a good way. So without further ado, we are going to kick off episode 2 of Doggy Time here on DentonRadio.com. I'd like to thank all those kind words out there for our first episode. We had a good time, and this show, just like last one, is going to be chock full of little tidbits and bric-a-brac that makes up a Doggy Time show, including our special guest. Yep, every episode we have a special guest that comes in and sits in with us at the studio and helps us through the show, helps us make it through the night. And it just so happens that tonight we have this bunch here.
Hi there.
Well, hi there back to you. Don't jump the gun. Wait for it. Okay, here we go. Now, as per usual, my cats and kittens, we have with us in the studio a special guest that's come to sit in with us. I very happily stumbled upon this bunch over at the open mic up at Banter. Individually, they are in no particular order: guitarist, vocalist, and the very subtly scary Aaron Pugh.
Hello.
The drummer and cross-dresser extraordinaire, Nathan Norman.
Hello.
Hello. And the very lovely and so multi-talented you just want to slap her, Sydney Wright.
Hey.
Hey. Collectively known as...
Soul Tax.
That's right, Soul Tax. They got that part down. We have it written here on the script. Just lovely. So they can read. If you can hear out there, parents, the education is paying off. Well, thank you guys for coming into the studio and sitting in with us tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Oh, my pleasure, my pleasure. Now, I understand you guys got a pretty busy schedule coming up. By the time this airs, you will have played in Austin at where?
Saxon Pub.
Saxon Pub, and then you turn right around. That'll be on a Wednesday night.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And then you turn right around and come back on Thursday, where Sydney is going to get a tattoo on her thumb. And
That's
then,
questionable.
That's questionable.
Yeah, because then on Friday we have to play a show.
Oh, okay.
So it may
play
not
the
be
guitar.
good.
You got to
but-
play through the pain.
I agree, but they're being Douglas Downers about it.
Douglas
We're playing at
Downers.
Dan's on
Ouch.
Friday.
Friday night, you will
Dan
be.
Silver Lake.
That's right, with Backwater Opera. Some
And
of my
yes, and
dear
Union
children.
Specific.
And Union Specific.
Yes.
Is that a Denton band?
They're from Austin.
They are from Austin?
Mhm.
Okay, we're not going to hold that against them.
Right.
Okay. Alrighty, so That's what we got going on there. We are glad to have Soul Tax with us, and it promises to be quite the interesting evening. All right, we'll be back with Soul Tax in a few minutes. Next up to the gallows by Cats and Kitties is this week's featured artist. And this week we have a very special featured artist with us. He's a music teacher up at TWU. He's a trombone player for Denton's own Strictly Dixie. And he's been the opening act at the open mic at Banter since the Kennedy administration. He's a good friend of all of Denton music scene, and he's the one and only old Mr. Joe Pinson. And we're going to start on, y'all seen him, you've seen Mr. Joe, have you not?
Yeah,
Sure
absolutely.
have.
How would you describe old Mr. Joe in relatively nice terms?
He is pawpaw.
Eclectic.
He's a pawpaw.
He's an eclectic pawpaw. That's awesome. You hear that, Joe? They love you. We're going to start off the show with a true crowd favorite of his album, Welcome to My Hat. It's called the Chihuahua Song. And as long as you're not driving, or maybe if you're standing in the middle of a crowd listening to your headset, you can have a solo flash mob moment by joining right in with the clap. Joe will sing, Lady, That's a Mighty Fine Chihuahua, and we will all go, right? So it's Lady, That's a Mighty Fine Chihuahua. Now you can do that while you're standing in the mall or in the Safeway or in the Kroger. And there is Safeways. They're still out there. Okay, they're right next to the
thing?
TGMY. Yes, they are. They're still out there. So anyway, Joe will sing that. You will clap, and people will look at you, and then you can tell them all about DentonRadio.com. You see what I did there?
Yeah.
Floated right in.
Yeah.
That was a plug.
Circle.
That's what that
That
was.
was a plug,
Yeah.
yeah. We are
okay.
so going to have
That's
to
what
edit
that is.
that out. Oh, well. Anyway, here we go. This is old Mr. Joe and the Chihuahua Song.
Lady, that's a mighty fine Chihuahua. Is it a he or a Chihuahua? I bet it looks exactly like its mama. Lady, that's a mighty fine Chihuahua. I like its cute little nose and its lack of clothes, and I like the little wiggle in its backside. My Aunt Gladys, the nurse, kept her pooch in her purse. Every time I'd come to visit, it would climb in there to hide. Lady, that's a mighty fine Chihuahua. Is it a he or a Chihuahua? I bet it looks exactly like its mama. Lady, that's a mighty fine Chihuahua. Uncle George had some rats in his warehouse. He sent in his Chihuahua to flush them out. He was waiting at the door with a shotgun in hand and accidentally pelted the wrong little snout. Lady, that's a mighty fine Chihuahua. Is it a he or a Chihuahua? I bet it looks exactly like its mama. Lady, that's a mighty fine Chihuahua. Don't think these teeny weeny dogs are weaklings. Each is very strong in its own way. I remember the Chihuahua that belonged to Cousin Bill. It gave orders to a pit bull every day. Lady, that's a mighty fine Chihuahua. Is it a he or a Chihuahua? I bet it looks exactly like its mama. Lady, that's a mighty fine Chihuahua. Wherever you are, the Chihuahua is a star. In Monterey, Manhattan, or Morocco. With its clever little grin and its disappearing chin, it makes you think you ought to buy a taco. Lady, that's a mighty fine Chihuahua. Is it a he or a Chihuahua? I bet it looks exactly like its mama. Lady, that's a mighty fine Chihuahua. Lady, that's a mighty fine Chihuahua. Lady, that's a mighty fine Chihuahua.
All right, cats and kittens, it is now time for the public service portion of the program. If you are a musician that's been scouring the countryside looking for a band, or a band that's been searching the world over for a musician, Bone Doggie has got the coordinates to bring everybody home. And those navigational charts can be found at DentonRadio.com's Musicians Free Classified. Can you dig it?
We can dig it.
I knew that you could. That's right, my cats and kittens. The Musicians Free Classified is a service we offer here on the Doggy Time Show, in which you can send out your SOS over the airwaves and find that part of your hearts and dreams that's been missing. Just email your situation along with your phone number, email Addy, Facebook page, Reverb Nation page, Sonic Bids page, and your government.com/org page, and any other pertinent information you may have to Musicians Classified at DentonRadio.com. That's Musicians Classified at DentonRadio.com. And Bone Doggie will read them out on the Doggy Time Show, and hopefully some of you fellow jammers out there will be all hooked up. And while we're sitting here pondering this situation, I understand that Soul Tax is in dire need of
A bassist.
You need a bass player.
We do.
You need a bass player.
We do.
Yeah, okay. Well, if there's any bass players out there, there's 2 criteria. One, you got to speak English. And second, you got to be able to hang with these kids because they can play, so you got to be able to get them fingers moving. If you feel qualified, send in your information to musiciansclassified.com, and we will hook you up with these lovely people over here. And they will probably drag you in for an evening of auditioning and abuse and see how it goes.
English isn't even necessary.
Yeah.
Just
Really?
the bass skills. Yeah.
Just speak bass.
Yeah.
Just, if you speak bass, then
Yeah.
okay. Does it have it not limited to 4 strings? Am I correct on that?
And just like hand
Well, we're
motions. If you can
open-minded.
communicate in hand motions, we're down with that.
I mean,
Okay.
4 is preferred, maybe.
Or-
No.
well,
Yeah,
if
it's
you
okay.
have an interpreter too,
It's
that's
okay.
another thing that can work out real well.
Yeah.
All right. So any bass players out there, Soul Tax is looking for one. Give us a shout at musiciansclassified.com, and we will try to get you guys hooked up. See, it's happening right here on the air. Now, cats and kitties, let it be known that Bone Doggie will not be reading any phone numbers out over the air. I will be using the preferred method of travel, which is Facebook or email. I will put those out over, but I'm not going to be reading any phone numbers out. So once again, it's Musicians Classified at DentonRadio.com. All right, next up to the gallows is another weekly feature that we are going to have. We are going to pay homage to our bread and butter, and that basically is give you guys an idea of who's going to be playing where in the greater Denton area. Soul Tax is going to help us with this one here.
We need to remind you that this information was not solicited. We got it off the internet. So if it's not exactly correct,
It's
not our fault.
That's right. Hear no evil, speak no evil. It ain't our fault. So, Sydney, who's going to be at Andy's?
At Andy's on Saturday, January 14th at 9:30, R.L. Jones, A Disco for Ferns, and John Wayne's Bitches will be playing. There's usually a $6 cover at Andy's, and I wouldn't expect anything different this time. Also, Party Like a Rockstar Night convenes on Tuesdays at 9:30, also at Andy's, and on Wednesdays at 9:30 they have karaoke night.
Lovely. So, if you want a karaoke, you can stand and holler at a machine for several hours and drink lots of whiskey. That's how I got started in music, as a matter of fact.
Word.
Yeah, at Haley's. Word.
Word.
Haley's, word.
I never
dude.
said word.
Gonna get your dub on Friday, January 13th. The Dub Commission. Doors at 9. He's dropping the dub beat. Doors at 9. Covers $5 for over 21 and $7 for you minor kids.
Yeah.
Saturday, January 14th at Haley's. An Elvis Costello tribute bar band featuring members of R2B2, Hairs on the Mountain, and Descender, along with Isaac Hoskins and the Healers, George Neal, and Tony Ferraro.
You know, you know Tony Ferraro?
I know Tony from Hairs on the Mountain.
Oh, okay.
Right.
And apparently that's a good band, is it?
Yes.
They
Oh my
sometimes
gosh.
play at bands.
They play dance.
Every
on
weekend.
Sundays.
Very
Yeah.
cool. Very cool.
Yeah. Doors at 7. No, doors at 9. $7 for over 21 and $10 for under 21. I'm glad I'm not under 21 anymore.
It seems to be very expensive to
It
be
does,
under 21
yeah.
these days. That's odd. I find that strange.
All right, and at Dan's on Thursday, January 12th, we have Centro-Matic, Telegraph Canyon, and Spooky Folk.
Yay, Spooky Folk. Yay, Spooky
Yay, hooray! The show starts at 10 p.m. Tickets are $12 in advance, $15 at the door. And on Friday, the 13th, we have Lucas Nelson and Promise of the Real. Doors open at 8, show starts at 9. The cover is $10 in advance and $15 at the door.
Get it in advance.
At Banter on Friday, January 13th from 8 to 9:45 p.m. There will be Friday Night Jazz. Andy LaViolette of the UNT Graduate Music School books these shows every week, and they never disappoint. On Saturday, January 14th at 8 p.m., Wise Ruby, Chris and Chuck's Trotline, and Pearl Snap Shirts will play at Banter. No cover, just a good time.
Just a good time. I love Wise Ruby. Those girls are so good, and got to jam with them once or twice and had a great time doing it. Finally, on Friday, January 13th at the Garage, Bone Doggie and the Hickory Street Hellraisers Unplugged. With a couple of really amazing singer-songwriters. We're going to have Kim Birdie Knoll and Matthew Grigsby's going to be with us. The cover's $5 for 18 to 21. 21 up is just $1. So we are still more expensive to be under 21.
It's always going to be that.
And we want to give a couple special announcements here. First of all, open mics. There are a couple really good ones here in Denton, I think. Don't you? Do you not agree? Am I right?
Yes.
Absolutely.
I'm right. I'm right.
We
That's
got
right.
our start at Banter for sure.
And I did too, way back in the day, as a matter of fact, when Bone Doggie was born. So anyway, Banter has an open mic every Thursday night. The list goes up at 7 o'clock, and be warned, my cats and kittens, that the list fills up in about 5.5 minutes. So you've got to be there and be on top of that one. It's always a great show, and it goes from 8 o'clock till midnight. And here, new in the world of open mics, Crossroads over there on Elm Street. Matthew Grigsby has got a show going, and it's on Tuesday nights. It starts at 9 o'clock. Actually, sign up is at 9 o'clock. You go put your name on the board. The show usually starts about 9:30, and it runs till a good 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, depending on who is still conscious and sober. So those are a couple really good open mics. Do we have any others in town that we know of? Is Olivia still doing that one over at Art Sex?
No.
We don't know.
We don't play.
You don't play open mics.
We don't
No.
We haven't played many open mics.
Ladies and gentlemen, the very snooty soul tax.
No, come on.
Yeah.
So
Let's
smug
clarify.
Right
That's not true.
That was Pew. That was
That's
all
right. That's
Pew.
Pew.
Totes.
Pew, being negative.
That's right. No, actually, these people
Negative.
love open mics. I know they love open mics because I've watched them do it. So, and also one very, very special date that's coming up for your calendar: Sunday, January 29th, at the Center for Visual Arts over on the corner of Bell and East Hickory. There's going to be a benefit for Brother Andy Cooper. If you do not know who Andy Cooper is, Andy is the clarinet and the leader of the Les Not So Hot Club. Andy suffered a stroke a few months back, and it basically took him out of commission. He is on his road to recovery. He is going through therapy. I actually talked to him today. And this show is going to feature Brave Combo, the Not Quite So Hot Club, which is everybody sans Andy. Old Mr. Joe is going to be there. Side Street Circus is going to be there, as well as David Hira. The show is free. However, we are going to be there to be giving donations. Andy has racked up one Hades of a medical bill during this time, and we want to show support to one of our brother musicians, somebody that is very near and dear to our hearts. So cats and kittens, come out once again Sunday, January 29th. The show is going to start at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's going to be at the Center for Visual Arts at the corner of Bell and East Hickory, and we do so hope to see you there to give Brother Andy a little bit of love. Can you dig it?
We can dig it.
I knew that you could.
Yeah.
All right, my cats and kittens, it is time for another pearl from our featured artist, old Mr. Joe, after which we're going to come back and have a little bit of a chin wag with Soul Tax. So this one is one of our favorites. It's off the CD The Unsinkable Mr. Joe, and it's called Old Man Blues.
I got the retired, rehired, double dipping old man blues. I got the retired, rehired, double dipping old man blues. If you think it's no fun, you should spend a day in my shoes. I'm too old to be discovered, too young to call it quits. I'm too old to be discovered, too young to call it quits. Hey, young people, kiss my grits. I got the retired, rehired, double dipping old man blues. I got the retired, rehired, double dipping old man blues. If you think it's no fun, you should spend a day in my shoes. I don't give a squat about what you've got or who's sleeping in your bed. I don't give a squat about what you've got or who's sleeping in your bed. I'd be the first to say that you're okay, just don't let it go to your head. I got the retired, rehired, double dipping old man blues. I got the retired, rehired, double dipping old man blues. If you think it's no fun, you should spend a day in my shoes. I got the retired, rehired, double dipping old man blues. I got the retired, rehired, double dipping old man blues. If you think it's no fun, you should spend a day in my shoes.
All right, cats and kittens, it is now guest interview time. We're going to sit and shoot the Shine-Ola with our guest. The Shine-Ola.
Ooh, that's a new one.
It is a PG show, so we are shooting the Shine-Ola with Soul Tax. Say that fast 3 times. So anyway.
I don't think that would be appropriate.
We're going to introduce the band. We've got Sydney Wright. And Sydney, you are from?
Snyder,
Texas. And apparently you started music at a very tender age. When did you start playing?
About 5. Mom taught piano lessons, and so we kind of picked up a little bit from her lessons.
Your mom's a musician as well?
Yes.
Do you come from a musical family?
Yes. Yeah, my dad plays guitar, and let me tell you a funny story about my mom the other day. She plays in churches a lot, and she went to a funeral the other day, and she this lady comes up to her and says, "Hey, there's somebody I want you to meet." She's like, that's weird, but okay. And it was the lady doing the special music, because my mom apparently was supposed to be playing this funeral that she had just decided to attend. And
oh my God,
so she pulled
random.
that off. Yeah, the lady just hummed her the song before the service, and she played a funeral that she was not supposed to be playing. I thought that was impressive.
Not everybody can say that, really, that they played a funeral they weren't supposed to be playing. I would like to try it once, but you'd have to have some room to run, I think.
I'd like to play my own funeral.
That would be pretty awesome, yeah.
That would be one you weren't supposed to be playing.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Ain't you dead? What's in the box? I want my money back. All right, so very cool. So you started playing at the age of 5, and then I guess you carried on through grade school, and then eventually through high school. Is that how that worked?
Yes, I took piano lessons from Lynn Baldwin's Studio of Music in Snyder until I was about a sophomore in high school, and then I wanted to learn to play guitar.
Now, did you like taking piano lessons?
She made it I mean, we didn't only have to learn like classical and stuff. She really liked ragtime and like
Ooh.
blues stuff. So that's also what we would do, and we'd have like little summer camps and
She
stuff.
just went up 50 points in my
so it
estimation.
was
I
way
love that.
fun.
All right. So Nathan Norman, who is Sydney's cousin, is that correct?
Yes.
Yes. On whose side?
My dad is her mom's brother.
Your
So,
dad is her mom.
Her mom's brother.
Oh, her mom's brother. Okay, I'm sorry.
There we
It
go.
kind of dropped out on there a little bit. Okay. And you are from West Texas. Is that Snyder as well? Is Snyder in West
No.
Texas?
Oh yeah. Snyder is in West Texas.
Where are you
but
from, Nathan?
I'm from Midland.
Okay, you're football territory.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sports.
Sports. Give some applause for sports.
Yeah.
There we go. All right. So, you started playing also at a very, very tender age. How old were you when you started?
I started piano lessons when I was like 9. My parents made me. I didn't really like
They
it.
made you play piano.
Yeah, it was a forced thing then, and I don't know. I just didn't want to do it, so finally my parents let me quit, and then I picked up the drums at like 10 or 11. And
What got you interested in drums?
I had a brother that played the drums and the guitar, and so I wanted to do those things.
I had a brother kind of conjures up. Okay, I had a brother, and I enjoyed beating on things. And
Yeah.
His skull sounded really cool.
But yeah, I mean, it just started with snare drum lessons, and then I eventually joined the drum line in junior high, and I was in that all through junior high, high school, and even into college. A little bit.
Very cool. You know, I skipped marching band. I totally did. I played in a jazz band because I did not want to march behind horses at the Thanksgiving
yeah.
Day parade. Did not want to do that at all. So it was you know.
I always wanted to be the jazz band drummer, but there was a lot of really good drummers in my school, so that spot filled up quick.
You know those stories about you always get the girls if you're the jazz drummer?
Oh yeah.
That's a lie.
Oh,
Okay, it
man.
doesn't work. So if you're a jazz drummer out there, you need to be trying something different.
Oh Lord.
Play bass for Soul Tax.
Shit, that's right. Play bass for Soul Tax. There you go.
Yeah.
Get the girls that way. And Aaron, you're originally from the Northwest. Where?
I am Oregon, Bend, Oregon.
From Oregon.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's way northwest. That's about as northwest as you can get before you get wet.
Well, yeah, pretty much.
Awesome, awesome. Got family up in Oregon.
I do. Yep. My mom's family is in Oregon.
I have family as well up there, and it's beautiful country. Some of the most beautiful places you've ever seen. If you enjoy wet,
I actually was from the desert side.
there's a desert side.
There is a desert
Must
side.
be on the other side of those big hills. Where all the
Yeah,
trees and
those
stuff.
big hills.
Okay.
It's on the other side.
So you are from the desert lands of Oregon.
I am.
Not too many people can claim that either, I'm sure.
2/3 of Oregon actually can claim it.
Now I flew over it. And I didn't see any desert. They must have covered it.
It's beautiful desert.
Okay, you weren't quite the youngster when you started playing guitar.
No.
You were how
I was
old?
about 13.
About 13.
Yeah. I moved to Texas from Oregon in 2000.
Boy, that must have been a culture shock.
That was a culture shock. Not only that, like, I mean, the elementary school I was at was like, I don't know, 600 kids from 1st to 5th grade, and then I moved to a K through 12 that was like 200 kids.
Yeah.
K through 12, you know, so it was,
Bam.
it's pretty small. And yeah, it was different. But anyways, the guitar was a good way to pass the time. You know,
Then what is this hooking up with fiddlers? You hooked up with fiddlers in
Yeah,
high
man,
school.
I had
What
a
does that mean?
weird-
It sounds odd.
He has
I know.
bromances
I have
with
bromances.
fiddlers.
Yeah, totally.
With fiddlers.
I don't know. It's a weird thing. Actually, I've played with probably 5 or 6 different like fiddle players now, and that really got me
Very
started
nice.
playing bluegrass and folk stuff.
It
And
will
I
throw you in that
discovered-
direction.
I discovered the electric guitar, and I was like, huh. All right, well, see you guys later.
I'm just-
I'm gonna go do this drum and bass thing.
Okay, I love you, but I'm gone.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna burn down houses. So,
Yeah, so.
and I guess where did you guys all meet at? In-
Lubbock. Aaron and I met at music school, South Plains College, where we got our commercial music degrees.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a question coming down the pipe, but keep talking.
And so we met
In 07.
Yeah, gotta be '07. And then Nathan's been my cousin for my life. So
Yeah.
we
That works
met
out real good
then,
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
And
easy to keep track of that way.
Yeah, I just ended up texting her one summer, just seeing if I could store my drum set at her house, and I just remember she said my living room awaits, and so I
Not
started.
everybody- That's awesome.
and then then
Did your mama know that his bringing his drums over to your house?
I have no idea. Did
Mine would have thrown.
Probably.
You ain't bringing no drums in this house.
Oh.
It was at City's own.
Yeah,
house,
Yeah.
me and my sister. I did not ask permission from my sister before I.
You just did it.
Yes.
That's
I
It
did.
awesome.
worked out.
Yeah, she doesn't care. She
Now
loves
we're
it.
here.
Oh, by the way, I got drums here, and that involves having a drummer with them.
Right.
So, so y'all hooked up at college, and was it love at first sight, or did you jam around for a while and just kind
I
of?
mean, Sid and I like hung out and were friends and had friends of friends, and like we're in the same circle, but
Right.
we didn't really play that much. It was just more like jamming, and at Java J's we'd play sometimes.
Yeah.
Open mic, me and the fiddle player would
Yeah.
play,
Yeah.
and
Nick
Can't
Lee.
and
believe
actually
it.
Sydney had a friend that played the fiddle actually at
Yeah.
the time. That was interesting. So
I get the sneaking suspicion you people are not going to be able to shake fiddle players.
no,
I'm
it's
okay with it.
though.
No,
Yeah.
you know what? A good one's worth their weight in gold.
Oh,
you want to
definitely.
keep one, yeah.
Especially when they can play the mandolin too. It's cool.
Or bass.
Or bass.
Soul Tax needs a bass player.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're an
Okay.
acoustic band.
Well, apparently, everything has worked out. I love the end result. I've got to say that is my personal opinion. Speaking of, why don't we hear a tune from Soul Tax? What do you want to hear off your CD that we got over here?
With this one's a song called "Hey" with an exclamation mark.
All right,
That's
And a
crucial.
capital H.
Yes.
awesome. Okay, so here we have Soul Tax with their tune "Hey" with a capital H and an exclamation point. So let's hear it. Let's hear what it sounds like. You're going to love this.
I'm trying to find the safest way to fall. You've got both of the cards, I'm just a ball. We draw the bridge at night and guard the walls. If people could see in, they'd be appalled. You left me standing in a vacant lot. You said you'd take me home, but you forgot. Reflections have me wear the clothes you bought. I love the show, you love to show me all. Love to show me all. I know you feel the beating heart inside your pocket. You're carrying, it's weakening. Just please don't drop I know you feel the beating heart inside your body. Carrying its agony, please don't drop it. And all out it must be the
All right, cats and kittens, that was Hey by our special guest, Soul Tax. And I've got a burning question here. Commercial music?
Yes.
What is commercial music?
We are certified to be commercial musicians by the South Plains College of Levelland, Texas.
So South Plains College says that you can do commercials for like Toys R Us or Huggies or somebody
commercial
like
music
that?
meaning
Well, that too.
popular music.
Yeah.
Instead of like being in the
As in commerce, not
Or
like
classical. you
yeah.
know.
So if you're certified to be a commercial musician,
It means nothing.
okay, how
It
much
means
did that cost
nothing.
you?
You just
It
go.
actually didn't cost me that much.
Yeah,
surprisingly
okay,
enough,
good.
Yeah.
It's awesome there.
Yeah, it is really
Do
cool.
they
You
have
just
a
go
good
and play
school
music.
Yeah.
Yes, you
Right.
just go and play music and get awesome at it.
It's
Awesome.
true.
Oh,
I mean,
like that.
it's a really good. The program is really designed well, I think, to, where you get a raw like kid, 18
Mhm.
or 19 or whatever, and then at 22, like spit out somebody that can legitimately like function in any musical setting, and like be a leader or be a follower or be whatever they need to be, or an artist, and do that as well.
Right.
But it was
Well-
cool. We could just play all the time. That was all.
Have any of you been through any music programs at North Texas?
no.
I'm doing ethnomusicology.
You're doing what?
Ethnomusicology.
Ethnomusicology.
It's the study of music across cultures, and it's really, really fun.
I can imagine world music. Really is what you're studying is world music, and we all love world music. Oh my gosh, I know that when I picked up the bouzouki, and of course you head off into traditional music, but then you just start globetrotting after that because you quit listening to, commercial music,
Yeah,
and start delving into other things. Your horizons are broadened. Well, this other musical education that you had, this earlier musical education, sounds a lot more liberal than what they teach you, or from what I understand, they teach you at North Texas. It sounds like you guys were taught basically how to jam. Was that not frowned upon? Was that
jamming
encouraged? Did they teach you how to jam?
Yeah, it was really weird, because I knew how to play sheet music
Right.
off sitting on the piano, and read the notes and play it. And so it's a totally different kind of playing music when you can feel the next chord that's coming. And, just
Right.
There was
instead
some,
of, having to see it in front of you everything you play.
There was some of that too, though.
Oh, yeah.
There was like jazz guitar lessons if you wanted to do that, or you could do, rock guitar or
Bluegrass.
blues or bluegrass. I mean, the first semester I was there, I was in or for 3 semesters in a row, I was in a bluegrass ensemble that played every 3 weeks or so on a streaming live
Very cool.
show on the internet. Yeah.
And what was the name of the college again?
South Plains College.
South Plains College. So if you're interested in a liberal music education, that might be somewhere to look at. I don't want to knock North Texas. You really can't. That's one of the greatest music departments in the world. But to be honest, to be real honest, I've met a lot of guys that come out of there that do not know how to jam with other musicians. I mean, you can stick sheet music in front of them and they can play for days, but they're not really taught the more, I don't know if you want to call it folky, but yeah, the more folky aspects of getting together with other musicians and just playing your instrument.
I think it's like a feel,
There
you
is.
teach you how to feel music and not how to just reproduce music.
Exactly. And there are certain rules to jamming. I mean, if somebody is out front, then everybody else needs to step back a little bit, and then when your turn comes around, you got to be up there and you got to take it.
Yeah, they have shows like productions in the Tom T. Hall Music Hall at South Plains, and I was also in the sound reinforcement program, and so they have students running the like live sound show. They have students filming it and recording it and
Producing
streaming
a
it
show,
live. Yeah, it's only run by students, and the students are performing, and it does teach you like just stage performance, like, you know, don't
Very,
be,
very important. That's very, very
don't
important.
be a hog or whatever.
Exactly. It's, well, the thing is, that the end product of knowing those rules, whether you're schooled at it or not, it's always best. I mean, you watch a bevy of bluegrass pickers, people that have been doing it for a while, you're going to see those rules. You know, you're going to see it in action, and the more they know about it, and the more they're experienced with doing that, the better the whole musical experience is, because then you got people that just flat play.
Absolutely.
Right.
You know? And so I love that. I love that. That's one of the things that I have been trying to encourage, meeting people and meeting especially the youngins here in town, is I need to teach you how to jam. I need to teach you how to play with other musicians. And I think it's incumbent upon us as working musicians here in town to be passing that along, you know, through the oral tradition, so to say, you know. So, very good. So, what do you got immediately planned? What are you going to be doing next?
Next week, tomorrow, we're headed to Austin to play at the
Right.
Saxon Pub, like we mentioned before. And Friday, we were playing at Dan's with Backwater Opera and Union Pacific.
And that was going to be all last week that you did that in the capsule of time.
Oh,
By the
yeah.
time
Oh,
that's
sorry.
right. See,
My B.
but where you got a gig coming up at
Oh, at Haley's on the 28th.
the 28th?
We're going to
you'll
be
at
playing
Haley's.
with two bands from Dallas. One of them's called the FNAs, and the other one is called the Neckties. No, the Neckties are awesome. Okay,
Really?
they're all like, I think they all go to high school, and so their dad like brings them up to
Oh.
the venue. But the cool thing is they hang out the entire show. Like, they can't drink, they can't like,
No,
you know,
but they could sit there and suck it up like
yeah.
a sponge, can't they?
Yeah,
Yes, they
they're
can.
like the coolest kid. They're not kids. They're the coolest and tightest musicians.
Oh, honey, they're from
I'm
high school.
impressed.
They're children. They're kids. Okay?
Yeah, okay.
Fair enough.
Sure.
You may be closer than I am. I can say it. They are children's. And, well, that's one of the things that we have at the open mic is really great. Is last week we had one that was 15, one that was 17. You know,
Wow.
and you see those guys and they just sit there wide-eyed and just suck it all up like a sponge. It's awesome. So, all right. Well, thank you so much for coming out and doing this with us.
Anytime.
We are going to hear one more from Soul Tax, and normally I let the guest pick, but they don't get to pick this one. This is a Doggie pick. This is probably my favorite Soul Tax tune. This is a lovely little ditty called Faux Waltz. This is Soul Tax on DentonRadio.com.
Think on the whispers of the wise, thoughts filled with prayers and cooling pies. Here's where love has been. That's what you have seen, with eyes only watching what is young, and ears only hearing smoothest tongues. A wayward wife, you never most nostalgic to speak out against what is being lost or found or left around or taken irreplaceably from our ground. And so I sing to quell this wild surge of desire just to do something, and I pray for mobility of expression to pose questions in this vulnerable state. 'Cause there's one thing I'll always know that is true, and that's that I've never been scared of it. Are you? Taste of the body and the vine. Take nothing from the hand of spice. Be with a fool. He cannot help you to think on the whispers of the wise. Thoughts filled with prayers and cooling pies. Here's where love has been. That's what you have seen.
All right, that was Soul Tax and Faux Waltz, probably one of my favorite tunes by that band. All right, cats and kittens, that's what we got for now. We'd like to invite you to keep listening to DentonRadio.com and tune in for a new Doggy Time show every week. If you want to listen to Doggy Time anytime, go to DentonRadio.blogspot.com, where you can get more news and information about DentonRadio.com. Here's some tracks from one of our resident artists, and listen to past episodes of yours truly. You can also find Denton Radio on Facebook, of course, and so get on there and post up some kind words about us, because 9 times out of 10 our mama's listening, and she wants to know what's going on here. So thank you, Soul Tax. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you, Bone Doggie.
We got Nathan Norman, hey,
Yeah.
Sydney Wright, and Aaron Pugh. Thank you so much. There we go. All right, we are going to go out with our featured artist, old Mr. Joe Pinson, who says himself he doesn't write dirty songs, he just writes unusual ones. So this is a tune of his called The Underwear Song, and you are listening to Doggy Time on DentonRadio.com. Can you dig it?
We can dig it.
We knew that you could. All right.
I was walking through the women's boutique at Penny's like I was bored and didn't have better things to do. They have a section that's devoted to nothing but panties. Every color under the sun, plus one or two. As I moved through Pantyland, I got to thinking, how does a woman choose the ones she wears? Do they match her outer garments or the color of her eyes? Does she know that she's the only one who cares? Tell me, dear, if you hear when I whisper in your ear, what color panties are you wearing tonight? Are they red? Are they green? Or somewhere in between? Do they glow in the dark when you turn out the light? Does the color that you hide make you feel good down inside? Match your hair everywhere, or just what's out of sight. If you're wearing any deer, please whisper in my ear. Tell me, what color panties are you wearing tonight? The thought of an old guy writing songs about panties makes all the hot young women fret and frown. It would really make their day if I just stay away, keep my singing to myself and not come around. They think that my advancing years and too many parties would have left me nothing but senile and square. Instead, in me they find a man with an ancient mind who's thinking weird thoughts about their underwear. Tell me, dear, if you hear when I whisper in your ear, what color panties are you wearing tonight? Are they red? Are they green? Or somewhere in between? Do they glow in the dark when you turn out the light? Does the color that you hide make you feel good down inside? Match your hair everywhere, or just what's out of sight? If you're wearing any deer, please whisper in my ear. Tell me, what color panties are you wearing tonight? Tell me, what color panties are you wearing tonight?